Okay, so here we have Sentimental Crisis by Halca from Love is War. Greatest comedy ever. Greatest manga ever, to be honest. But anyway, so this is in the opening, there's vocals, strings, acoustic guitar, actually, and electric guitar, piano, tubular bells, bass guitar, and drums. This one's going to be a bit... Well, firstly, I think going chronologically worked, I think, better last time, so I might do it with this one too. I marked... Oh, no, I haven't marked the sections like always, so I'll have to quickly do that. But yeah, so a few caveats with this one. This one is insanely complicated and a lot of stuff is happening and there's a lot of funny chords. And the mix is awful. Look, we're not going to sugarcoat it. It's awful. It's terrible. In the chorus, you just cannot hear what the guitars are doing. You just don't know. Like, genuinely, you don't know. You can hear, it's like throughout, you can hear the twangs of the acoustic guitar, like the attacks, but the notes that it's playing, nope, they just disappear instantly, just gone. So I literally don't think it's possible for anyone to actually get the guitar voicings because they may as well not be there. They just fog up everything. It's like the middle third of the whole mix is just this fog, constant fog, and it murks up the bass line, it murks up the everything. It's like it's so lucky that the strings can sit on top boldly, because everything else is just it just gets murked. God. Right, but anyway, let me label these sections. Okay, so I just did the form of this one, and now I'm thinking we talk about the form first, because it has a strange form. So it's got this intro bit, and then it has another bit which is kind of like a transition. So for this, we can't use verse, chorus, pre-chorus, because that's just not what this is. It's just not this. And so we need to use our letters, where it's each new section gets a letter, and any repeat of the section gets the same letter, and any variation of the section gets either a prime mark or you just say 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have B, and then C is kind of like a verse. And then the way I'm seeing it is that this bit that kind of works to transition into the D is kind of like a variation of the C, even though it's very different. And then we have the D, which is the big halftime bit, which then also I feel like it just kind of extends towards the key change. And then we go and we do our A again, but with instruments, and then we do our A again, and then we finish. So it's a bit funny, but yeah, we'll get through it. Okay, so first up, we have a tempo change, which is rare, especially in Western music. We're kind of not used to abrupt tempo changes, but I think because they kind of like cut it, because I'm doing the TV version and it's like cuts out this like big whirly piano bit, like, you know, so maybe that might be why but even then, like, increasing the tempo by like 14 is a bit weird. But anyway, so we start at 153, which is moderately fast. We start with just vocals, doing our kind of vocal theme. It's like the melodic kind of theme. And then we're just with piano and accompaniment and tubular bells, funnily enough, playing the root notes, funnily enough. Oh, and then we also have wind chimes, which is fun. But anyway, so all these chords are like kind of arpeggiated, and we have this idea of like the rising bass line. Then there's a chromatic note. So then we can drift slowly back down to D for some reason. I don't know why D. Because it's like not really related to C, which is where we're going. Oh, I suppose maybe it has something to do with the whirly piano bit, maybe. Anyway, so tubular bells, just hitting all the root notes. Chromatic note here. And then we go back down. So we have 1, and then we just slowly walk up to, it's kind of like, C sharp over E. Yeah, it's like 5 of the 6, because we're going to F sharp. So this is a 5 away from the F sharp. So it like lets us resolve nicely on the F sharp. And then we do a E. We're just like walking down kind of to end on like this D major 7 sound. It's like kind of like an A major 7 over D kind of sound. Wait, yeah, that chord's wrong. I'll call it. Oh, but then yeah, there's no F sharp in this, so it's a sus chord. Or yeah, it's like if our bass note's D, or no, because A major 7 wouldn't have a D in it. So yeah, it is more like an A over D. We'll just call it A major 7 over D, because then it makes sense in terms of having the E beforehand. And then that just makes this interesting kind of chord. Yep, so wind chimes, and the piano does these kind of middle of the road kind of voicings, not too crazy, and then does this arpeggiated thingy-majiggy. Yes, maybe I'll play the piano part with the tubular bells. It's like a slight peaceful intro, which is actually kind of unusual for an opening, but I suppose it's an ending. So yeah, endings are like this all the time, like sweet, sentimental, slow. It's usually kind of why I don't like them too much. But yep, so we have this arpeggiated thing. It sounds cool because it's like you feel like it'd be an A major 7 arpeggio, but it's got this sneaky F sharp in it. And then it's like, I mean, obviously we're doing some finicky stuff like, oh, it starts major and then it goes to the relative minor, so it's a bit more, it's very moody. And then melodically we have this. Which is, it's interesting because it takes this like little motif, that da 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 da, and then just kind of keeps repeating it, and then we actually go quite high. This vocalist might be more of a soprano kind of. Yeah, because they generally are up quite high. Yeah. Anyway, so over the A chord, we're just doing like 3, 5, 9, 1. So it's like sets up this thing, and then it resolves on that, which is also the root, and then we do it, but then we're a bit unsettled because we got D in the bass, and then we continue our thing to like vary it, to like give it some momentum because we want to go somewhere with this. And so we hit our B's, our 9s. It's a cool sound having the flat 9, which is the D over the C sharp over E sharp, because it makes it really tense sounding. And then we have a little bit of a, I suppose it's not entirely, but it's kind of like it's like the opposite of suspension, where it's like we go up instead of down with our note that hangs over. But it's not actually a suspension, because it would be a suspension if it looked like this, but it doesn't, so it's not a suspension. But the point is that we resolve later than the root to the 5th of the chord, and then we just walk down to our peaceful A chord. This beautiful piano decorative kind of thing. It's like not very crazy. All right, and then we do our key change. This is a direct modulation because we don't do any preparation beforehand. All we have is our, which I suppose it's fast, but I guess you could say it like preps our ears for the new tonality because it includes notes from the new key, which is C. And you're going to be surprised when you see these chords. This song is somehow the master of using 4-5-1s. Like the chords sound good, but it's a lot of 4-5-1. Anyway, so we have this little transition intro bit, which sounds like this. So what do? Firstly, we establish our new tonality, which is C major. We go 1, 5, 4, very normal chord progression, and then we go 4 minor, which is, I suppose, in one sense it's very normal, but in another it's not, because it's like unusual and it's a chromatic note. We never expect chromatic notes. But then 4 minor is an incredibly common device, like very, very common. So it's like not super special, but they like really, like melodically it really hints at that 3 goes flat 3 like a lot. Okay, drums do this super cool tom groove. I've kind of tried my best to approximate it. Again, the mix is awful, so yeah, but the drums sound like this. A lot of dotted kind of rhythms that gives it this kind of, it's like the jungle drum kind of thing. Not too much to say at the moment, but probably later. And the F chord is actually anticipated by a whole beat, and then same with the other F, which is kind of, it's a bit interesting, bit of a choice there. Anyway, so we have this iconic motif in the piano. Thinking back, that the piano could probably be playing something here. I might have missed it. Anyway, so we have this, it's just C, and then we arpeggiate the C chord. This is just a C major arpeggio. What's interesting is we hang on the A, which is the 9. But then I guess we go back to it, so it kind of makes sense. And you get this like turn kind of thing. And the bass, playing high up, just doing a kind of 8th note kind of bass thing, and then we slide all the way up to big top F for the F minor. Really gives it some impact. Guitars are guitaring, doing their respective rhythms, one acoustic, one electric. And the strings are doing this cool thing. Which sounds really cool in context with everything else, which is just like, again, just kind of chord tone based stuff. So it's like C, and then to voice lead it smoothly, we just go to the B over the B on the G. There's this kind of weird like muted kind of thing, and then we hit our 3, and then we go 3 minor with everyone else. Now in our C section, the drum plays this halftime groove with a cross stick, and then kick is just like bo bo ka bo bo ka bo ka, like just that kind of thing. And then there's a little feel. Key thing is the piano melody really sticks out, where it's got this ba da 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 da, which superimposes C major onto like the G chord. Again, look at this harmony: 1 4 5 4 1 4 5. Like, are you joking? And it's in C major too. Like, are you joking? Like really? Really? With acoustic guitars, and it's playing open chords. I know that. It actually might be throughout the whole thing, but like, who would know? You know, who would know? Not me. But so acoustic guitars playing these open chords, just probably the most basic voicings you can have, and arpeggiating them kind of roughly slowly. And the piano's got this kind of thing with its chords going, and then that ba do da do da do da da da. And then we have our lovely tubular bells. This is the last time they appear in the whole song, so cherish them. They're what gives us the kind of major 7 vibes, because we get this melody of kind of thing going on. And then I guess we'll play the instrumental and then talk about the vocal. Oh, I've got this last 2 bars, but like, oh yeah, I suppose we'll just talk 2 bars. So the bass comes in on a G chord. Again, we're stopping on our 5 chord because it's our 5 chord, you know, 5 chord. 5, it's the 5 chord, you know, the 5 chord. And then we introduce our second guitar and then just keep the acoustic kind of going. And then we have this really cool string counter melody, or it's more like a fill kind of thing, but it's like this. So an octave, big and grand. That's kind of one thing that's like going on with this. God, I've done too many openings in a row. I just keep naturally saying opening, but it's big. Octaves are big and grand, especially in strings. Again, there's a lot of just like straight up scale stuff in the strings, especially. I suppose it keeps it kind of palatable and easy to understand. But now that I think about it, we can actually talk about the fact that this opening, out of everything it does, it sounds very grand, and despite not having any brass instruments. But I suppose you can definitely probably think that because it's called Kaguya-Sama, Love is War. It's about Kaguya, right? And she is very rich, grand, born to like one of the most powerful families in Japan, you know? It's like, and the openings sell the more kind of comedic style of the show, right? With the like daddy do, like they're definitely going for more of a fun kind of angle, whereas the endings go for much more of a kind of dare I say sentimental kind of attitude, you know? And so it really, going forward, yeah, we'll probably talk about how the grandness and how we get that is definitely high register piano, you know, piano always associated with classical music, which is associated with rich people. So if you have piano doing not jazz, even like jazz kind of stuff is generally associated with kind of wealth. But like, you know, again, we start with piano and vocal, which is just like, you know, it's like the rich people instrument. You know, people buy a piano just to have it, just to have a piano, you know, because it looks nice, you know. It's a very kind of evocative, wealthy instrument. And then if we contrast that with the guitars, like, sure, there's distorted guitar. Is it doing anything cool? No, it's just playing chords the whole time. It doesn't get any melodies. Like if we contrast that with, I don't know, like one of the songs from Bocky the Rock or something, it's like they're very guitar-y, and it's like kind of virtuosic guitar kind of thing, because that's like the identity of the show, you know. And the identity of this show is not distorted electric guitar, it is strings and piano, which is why we can hear the piano so much over everything. Like this melody stands out so much because we don't have anything contending with it yet. And then when the strings come in, is anything contending with the strings? No. Do you see the guitars doing anything cool? All the guitars do here, and all they always do, is get in the bloody way, you know? God. Oh, God, I gotta talk. I have a feeling this one's gonna be a long one. So the melody. Again, we're jumping a perfect fifth. Perfect fifths are always associated with grandeur because they're just powerful and they're very strong. Kind of like they're like the octave ripoff, you know? And then like it's important because we go fifth and then back down, you know? And we're on the root note. Again, very strong. And then we just follow the chords to hit the root of this one. And then we just kind of smoothly lead into a D on the G chord. Super chill. And then we just resolve our question phrase with resolve our antecedent phrase with the consequent phrase. Oh, damn. And then again, go back to the tonic. Even though it's on the F chord, it's still like has more of a resolution in terms of like feeling like the tonic because we're ending on the tonic note, you know. And then again, we set up a repeat. Look, it's the same thing. So then we can do our, and then again, where the vocal would do this next bit, we want to have a string counter melody, so we don't include the vocal because it would get in the way of our cool strings. All right, let's play our C section. Oh, I suppose it's got a bit of a thing, so let's do this. And again, with the kind of like grandness and classical connotations, we don't have cyclic chord progressions, which is very typical of classical music, whereas cyclic chord progressions are much more typical in popular music based genres. Like, see how we start with this, and then we do this, and then we do this, but then we do like there's no pattern. We're not just mindlessly repeating 4 chords, you know. There's like some kind of depth to it. Anyway, so what happens next in this? It feels kind of like a pre-chorus kind of thing, but like kind of not. Oh, actually, lengthwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 8 bars. Okay, that's good. All right, so in this bit, what do we have here? This, I'm gonna call a C major 7 over E because the bass note is E, duh. But we have C in the guitar, there's like a second, there's like some sort of like overdubbed electric guitar or something doing some random stuff with a heap of reverb. It's like, it's not a big deal, but like it's there and the piano's not doing anything, so I just used its stave. And then the strings start on a C. So since we're absolutely banging out this C, it's probably not going to be an E chord, E minor chord, because the flat 6 over an E minor is going to sound terrible. And so we're probably more inclined to think about it as a C major chord, because again, it's the tonic. It's the tonic at the start of the new section, and then preceding it was a 5 chord. So our guitars just start doing this like power chordy thing with this like rhythmic pattern to it, and then there's this thing. It's just taking the idea of what was in the piano, but like doing it a bit different. And when we get the funny chord, and because it's repeating this C G idea, and over an E major chord, C G, not nice notes, so it just sits out. Kind of fantastic. But anyway, so what happens in the drums is they switch to this cool hi-hat based rhythm, 4 on the floor, interestingly enough, and we don't have a consistent snare, which is interesting, actually, thinking about it. That's really weird, because yeah, it's just kind of a decoration on beat 4. Oh, it's actually on all B4s, so don't mind that. But no snare on beat 2, interestingly enough. And it's got this kind of like thing that like kind of develops a bit. The drums are probably improvised because there's so many like variations in them. This fill will never not be amazing. The 8th note, 2/16 notes, 8th note, 2/16 note always works in the drums, no matter what you do. This one specifically, amazing with the crash on B4. Like it just works. Anyway, so the bass does this weird thing. It doesn't really matter too much. I only noticed that something was different when I looked up like a bass color just to make sure I was probably doing it right. But again, the bass gets so lost because look at this, look at this, look at this. In my bass's way, in the way. God, I hate guitars. But anyway, so we just do this walk up thing. Like we go to get smoother voice leading. Again, you could see that as a sort of development of this, because this one starts C, F, G, this one starts C, F, G. But then we have a funny chord. This one took me a bit to get because 1, it's chromatic, and 2, it's like kind of inverted probably. The bass part's really unclear there, and it's kind of unclear whether it's a G sharp diminished or E over G sharp, or even E minor with a G sharp, so like a sharp 9 kind of sound. But key point is that bass is playing a G sharp and the strings also have a G sharp in their bit, so it's like, and it's very dissonant. Like it just sounds like this mucky mess of dissonance, and it has a funny rhythm to it. It's just a weird thing. Anyway, so we continue our walk up, but like displaced a bit, so we go G, G sharp, A, And then again, we just do a nice simple bass line because everyone else is, I mean, the drummer's going crazy, you know, we're just kind of chilling out. And then actually maybe I'll play that with I'll play all that beforehand. It sounds nice. All right, our strings. So our strings, after one messing up everything here, we go for like an F major 7 kind of sound, but like in reality what we're doing is, this is called enclosure, where it's like, so we want to get to this D because we want to start C, we want to rise, right? Because it's like ramping up the tension in the quote unquote pre-chorus. And so we want to get to D, but F, like we could stick on C, which is actually what we do, but it's cooler. It's like a decoration to like, we go here and then instead of just going up, we go under and then we go over and then we hit it. And that's an enclosure. So we get this. And then we keep rising. And then we have this weird portamento kind of like slide thing down from the G sharp to an E, which is interesting. And then we want to calm down because it's like, it builds up tension, but then kind of breaks the expectation by calming down in the next section, even though you think it won't. But, and then we take this idea and then do this and then land on our E over the F chord, which is quite interesting. Yes, so that sounds like that. And then in the vocal, got so much stuff that's happening in this. We have this kind of scalar run of that da 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 da. So again, we just do, again, you could say this, we're taking our popular music form, AAAB, do it once, do it twice, do it again, but change the end. I just made that up. That's surprisingly helpful. But we get back to doing our little scale thing, and then we go over, another enclosure, again we go under, over, and then we hit where we want. And then so we can, it's like kind of like this has a, for some reason my brain's just not remembering the word. It starts with like A, but no, I can't remember it, but like it's like starting before the section starts. Anyway, so that sounds like this. God, that drum fill just works so well. And the fancy hi-hats, like it's a really good contrast to the rest of the whole song, because the rest of the whole song never does anything like it again. The drums in this song are absolutely phenomenal. Kind of same with the bass, but like it's like the bass is just kind of fighting the fact that the chords are a heap of 4, 5 ones. It's trying its best. Yeah, this slide was a really cool idea. And then just keeping some structure to it. Again, it's just like this, the melody has like a vague sense of structure, but like not completely. It just kind of does what it wants, which is kind of like the form of this piece. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Because we got 2 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, yeah, that section's 6 bars long, which is weird. That's really weird. Usually if sections aren't 8 bars long, it's noticeably a strange thing to do. Like Thelonious Monk was known for like including like 7-bar sections in his songs, and it made it really hard to play them because we are so ingrained and used to multiples of 4 in terms of music. So that 6 is a bit weird. Anyway, so we go to our kind of like climax kind of bit. Yeah, the climax, because I remember searching for this song because I was like, I had that sun da 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 da, I had that stuck in my head and I was like, what song is this from? I cannot remember. And I searched for hours and hours. And then what do you know? It was the goddamn Lovers War ending. Like, who would have thought that? Damn. Anyway, so this is definitely the climax of the whole song. It's phenomenal. Everything here is phenomenal. So the drums, I'll just have to play them. Oh god, and this is a long set. All right, we'll go to here with the drums. This is phenomenal. God, it's good. Okay, so what happens? A heap of random shit, to be honest. But we go into halftime, but a little bit funny. It's like we got ka. So we're hitting snare on B3, but then we have some like extra decoration snares, but again on B3, and then we do this amazing like double kick into the snare with the crash. Oh, it sounds good. And then we get our open hi-hats going, and then we got some like tom fills and stuff. The kicks are like changing all the time, really syncopated. We got multiple crashes. We got this thing. All right, that's like a fill. And then we have this like roll that like gets us into the next bit where we break into more of a normal drum beat. And then it's like, it's so amazing. I'm dumbstruck. Bass is a bit, it's fine. It's like, just keeps up that ba ba da ba da 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 bo ba ba da bo da 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 da. All right, it's got this standout bit where it like jumps into a register where it can be clearly heard and just does this like, and then we go back. I think this is a B diminished chord again. Look, man, good luck getting the guitar voicings in here. And if we're not looking at the guitar voicings, all we have is bass notes and the melody and the strings. Like, we don't have enough information to deduce what chord this is because the guitars are stupid. Okay, so then we're just walking down, and then we hit A, which is an inverted chord, which is interesting because then we go four minor. What do you know? We're bringing back the idea from here, actually, the intro bit. And then we just like do some stuff. Whatever. I'll just play the bass with the drums again because I need to hear the drums again. Guitars maybe. Yeah, they're just like playing some, I think these are kind of the rhythms. They're just kind of, all right, the chords obviously. All right, again we have 4/5, but we do the thing where we imply resolution, like we do a 4/5 and then we do it again to make it even more tense, and then we actually do like a deceptive cadence where 5 resolves to 6. Because again, 1 and 6 have pretty much the same notes, you know, and then we do this thing to get us back to C. It's like we pretended we were going to C and then we didn't. So we were like, I still want to go to C. So we just use that extra chord to do like a G kind of turn around to C. And then again, we walk down. Oh yeah. With a diminished chord because it's diatonic. So we can get, I suppose no, yeah, I don't know what that would kind of be. And we go 4 minor 5 to say that we're going to a new section because we're about to go to a new section, interestingly enough. And so the guitars do this like da 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 da, like they're very intertwined with the bass in this. I think the electric guitar one is actually only electric guitar is in drop D tuning because I just kind of have a feeling. But yeah, they just kind of do pretty much the same stuff as the bass. So I'll actually play those with the bass. yeah, just some kind of Philly stuff around, you know, it's kind of chill. Strings are amazing here. Strings are so amazing here. We hit the major 7 over the F chord, damn, and then we resolve that down to the 5 of the G, and then we like glide up to the 3 of the F, kind of mimic the guitars a bit, and then we go down to the tonic, and then we have this cool, which is, it sounds phenomenal. Again, it's very scalar, and it's like we're going down a scale from E. Okay, we want to stop here, but like we don't want to stop on B because that's the 9, so we'll just skip the B and stop on the root. And then we kind of do something similar to the bass, and then we just kind of calm down a little bit on the C. Again, it's like melodically we have a G. Oh shit. Well, that solves all our problems. Yep, and then we have this cool little thing. Right, yeah. We go down the F arpeggio, and then next arpeggio note that's closest, the flat 3. And we have this cool thing here, which is really cool. Again, just up to scale. So I'll actually play the instrumental bit there. Phenomenal, and we haven't even talked about the melody. Okay, so we do this thing where we prepare, and then why I said it's F major 9 is because we start on the G there, and it's kind of like heavily accented, and then we like anticipate. It's quite strong, and we just do, instead of going up for our contour, we kind of go swervy for our contour, and we kind of keep that contour. We just kind of stay around the same kind of area, you know, and we're heavily intertwined with the strings, but in like a harmony kind of thing. Yeah, they're not quite playing the same notes, but they're playing in harmony, and they're just kind of intertwined, looping around each other, which is interesting. And then again, it doesn't have too much form to it. It just kind of does whatever it wants, funnily enough. Like how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. Like this one's 12 bars long. That's funny. You know, that's weird. Anyway, that sounds like this. It's so hard to concentrate on the vocal when everything around it is just going, drums. Oh my god, the drums. Yeah, so that's that. And then again, like, look, there's 4 or 5. Like, how effective could 4-5-1 be? Like, it's so passionate and emotional and fantastic, and it's a 4-5-4-5 6-5-1 5-4 4 minor 5. Not a single 3 chord or anything. Not any like out of key chords, except the like this is like the lamest way to, if you're going out of key, this is the lamest way to do it. But yeah, it's just like, damn, it's so effective. Probably mostly because of the drama, to be honest. Oh, and the strings. The string writing is so beautiful. Oh, because like the melody, it doesn't have to stand out and do too much, because the strings are just carrying everything. It's fantastic. Then we have a key change. I believe this might be A sus2. I think it's some kind of A chord, but I don't think I hear the 3rd, and I feel like there's like a B in the piano voicing, maybe. It's like a debatable. I'll just play that little extra bit. Again, drums. Oh, look at this. Look at this. And then if we go back to here, see, it's like a variation on this idea, which is really cool. It keeps the continuity up, which is really nice, especially in this kind of music where you definitely don't want to overplay, and so it helps to have some kind of continuity so people can like digest what you're doing a bit easier. And a cool bass slide, and then we have this scale run of the piano, which kind of sticks out that, and then like a big gliss all the way down to a A chord, because we've modulated to A major. Is this? It's flat 7. Oh, but it's like a backdoor 2/5. It's, yeah, I'd probably call that like a prepared modulation, maybe. It's like a backdoor resolution where like flat 7 resolves to 1 but as a major. You could alternatively see it like it's like resolving to A minor, but we've done modal interchange and interchange the A minor for more of an A major kind of sound. But then again, the chord theoretically, I suppose it's the G sharp, so it has a A major feeling to it. Anyway, so we just go 1 and then 5 to get us back to 1. So that sounds like this. Sounds amazing. And then we go to our little section here, and what do you know? What's this? 1, 4, 5. And then 3, but it's uncharacteristically major. Oh, it's this, but without the A chord pedal point thing. Didn't notice that. But anyway, so 1, 4, 5. This is 5 of 6 to get us to 6, and then we hang on 6 a little bit to give us more of that minor kind of sound, and then we go back to our 5 to go back to our 1, 4, 5, 6, but it's a little bit 1, 4, 5, 5 of 6, and then we go no, we go 6, and then we go it's like we go 6 minor, and then we essentially do modal interchange and do flat 6 major, which is from A minor, to get us this chromatic walk down that we're looking for. And then we do E, and then we do E flat 7 with the sharp 11. This is a funny chord, but that works as a tritone substitution to get us to D. And D is the 4. And what do you know in this song when you see a 4? Oh, it's going 4 minor. Boom. Doesn't even end on the 1 chord. It just ends with an implied, like a melodic resolution. Like there's no chords happening, but we still have which again ends on the tonic, so it counts as a kind of tonic resolution, which is really cool. God, I don't know. Do I even talk about the? Look at these drums. These drums were taking me most of the time. Like I was complaining about trends. It's the drums. The drums took forever because there's so many variations to them. Oh, all right. So we do this like boo, 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 like a kind of basic kick pattern. But then on the C sharp chord, which is meant to be dissonant, we do a fill. And then get back to our like taken from the intro before that I showed, also this bit. And we have like a fill. Let us play that. God, it's so good. But it's like just the basic drum beat, but like colored up, especially with like this stuff. Notice how its groove changes with the bass, because the bass is kind of driving this part, I think, and the bass groove changes, so the drum groove changes a bit. And we have like a stop, to hit us back in that bit, but I'll talk about that after. Bass, look at that. Again, it's like, what can you even say? Just like playing the root notes and then doing this cool like embellishment that's like very common in these openings, where it's just like just playing around with diatonic notes and then just low, and then we kind of stop here. Like it's kind of like a bit of a rhythmic kind of freeze here, where everyone just kind of slows down at the same time, not like tempo wise, but like they slow down their rhythms a bit to like hold it a bit more, because it's like the big dissonant part. And then we have this like thing just on the 1 and the 5, and then we get this again, just like it's just like roots and fifths, the classic bass. And then we have this cool like giving us like the 13 kind of sound, which is cool actually. Yes. And then the piano's back, probably just playing like some block chords, and then we have this cool melody that interacts with the strings. Okay, so we are back, different day, so I'm a bit lost in my thoughts, but all right. And then what were we talking about? The piano interacting with the strings, right? So the piano does these block chords, it's fine, and then the strings have this awesome counter melody. Let's just play the instrumental first. Okay, so guitar's not doing anything really that special, just kind of chilling out. But strings, so we have this da, a really cool major 6. It like really stands out, really nice. And we just scale a walk down to, weirdly enough, the 4 over our E chord. It's funny. And then we do a gliss, but with the not a portamento, a proper gliss, where we play the notes in between. We just like quickly run up, and then we hit our natural 3 on the C sharp, and then we just walk down. Gives us a little bit of that flat 9 kind of sound with the D, and then we just keep this thing going on. We delay the resolution on the F minor chord to there, where we hit the 5th, and then we just do a quick little run up. Yeah, that's what I said about the scales. It's just scalar runs, and then F sharp over the F sharp minor chord. What do you know? And then it's like an arpeggio down, and then we have this cool thing where we work with the piano. So the strings go up, piano goes down. So we get, and we get. But these don't really interact properly in any way whatsoever. They're just like this is a major second. That's a unison. That's okay. That's a 6th. Oh, and that's a unison. Yeah, so the only problematic one is the first note where you do a major second one, which is quite dissonant for a harmony. So you get that. And then we get this cool streak run. I think this is what they're doing. And then we just hit back on our high note on the A, but that's A2, which we're not talking about at the moment. Right, let's just play that. Oh, with the piano maybe. And then, yeah, we've got some articulations here where it's like long, long, short, long, which is cool. Very nice. All right, and then melodically, we have a anacrusis. And then again, why I'm calling this A1 is because it is this. Look at that. Look at this. And then look at this. Same thing. Same thing. But then obviously, since this section's longer, we have to continue it somewhere. So we vary it to and then we just kind of land on our 3rd. So we take this like new melodic motif of that. And then we just come down with the piano in a harmony. Not a harmony, in unison. And then we just do it again for that next bit. Yep, so let's play A1. Fabulous. All right, A2 is more or less the same thing, but we're doing an ending. So I guess I'll talk about the drums in A2 first. So we get this ba da da da. And then what I do believe is happening is a ride crash, which is why I said RC, which is just like hit the ride really hard and it kind of sounds like a crash cymbal. Anyway, so we get that boom, 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 and then just more fills, more aggressive fills, but the same idea. Like on the on that chord, we do the similar thing. It's actually the same thing exactly. And then this one's a little bit different. So let's play the drums of that. What's cool is the ending with the fill of just like a 16th note snares, which is kind of neat. But again, we're just taking the themes from before and then mixing them. Also, it works well with the bass, which is doing a varied version of what it did before. Like instead of ba da da da, it's like that's a bit lame. So let's do boo ba da da, which is cool. Pretty big jump too. And then we do the classic. And then we do this cool offbeat like thing on the low notes. I'm not too sure this is correct, but because the lower note, it's hard to kind of tell what it is, but I think it's G sharp. So then I'd separate. So it feels like a C sharp over G sharp kind of thing. And the idea is E, G, F. It's like a kind of, it's like a through line. What's the term for that? Starts with C. It's like a melody inside the melody. It's like, is there any examples here? No, because these are all really simple. Kind of like this, in the sense where it's like stays here, stays here, stays here, stays here, stays here. Like that's a linear kind of melody, you know? But in some songs you'll see something where it's like the first note of every bar is descending. So it would be like C and then B and then A. Oh, there we go, A. Yeah, so that's whatever term is for the melody inside the melody, but it's like a through line to connect your melody, the idea of the melody. It works really well in melodies with a lot of notes because it gives it some kind of cohesion to it. Anyway, how did I get on that tangent? And then we do this cool offbeat thing, and then we keep the cool offbeat thing, just like 1 to the 5, classic bassline stuff. And then we play a lot more low notes, because the thing about bass is that sure, you can play up high with everyone, but no one can play as low as you. And so if you want to be heard, that's kind of how you be heard. You play lower, which I tend to sometimes disagree with, but it's like, it's fine in terms of like a large ensemble like this. Like it's pretty important. Anyway, so we're just doing this octave thing, and then we're following the chords. And then this gets wide. This is a really cool bass fill, and it actually stands out, funnily enough. So we get, and then we anticipate the E flat chord with everyone else. Ooh, that's neat. So it's like the C sharp of the A scale becomes the D flat, which is the flat 7 of the E flat 7, which is really neat. Anyway, so then we have this cool fill where it's like slides up, and then we're playing the flat 5 for whatever reason. The reason why I'm still saying it's like, the reason I'm not saying it's a the reason why I'm not saying it's a flat 5 chord is because I think the guitars are more than likely to be playing with the natural 5, which is why I went with the sharp 11 rather than E flat 7 flat 5. but this like it's really cool. And then we have this rhythmic idea of like groupings of 3 plus 3 plus 2. So 1, 2, 3. Which gets you that thing. But let's play it from here just to show. Actually, let's play from the whole thing. Let's just play the whole thing. Yeah, this really stands out, and it sounds amazing. Because it's like you wouldn't expect them to play the flat 5 in the bass. Like, that's interesting. And you could almost I almost assumed it was like a kind of F7 kind of chord, but that doesn't really make sense in terms of what everyone else is doing. But yeah, and melodically we have A in it a lot too. So it's like, yeah, really strange. Oh, if we're being honest, it should be A flat below or whatever. Let's play with the drums so you can hear the drumminess. Notice how even though the drum is doing ba 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 ba, the bass isn't doing ba 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 ba. So when people say bass is meant to be playing with the drums, like the way when I was like introduced to it, the idea, it felt like you assume it means like the kick, if the kick plays a note, you play a note, but it's not really true. It's more like loosely connect your bassline ideas with the kick very loosely and figuratively. Like even on this syncopation where it's like we're lining up with the kick sometimes, but not all the times, you know. This one lines up well, but like the kick happens there and there's no bass, so it's a bit like they're just loosely connected, which is interesting. Anyway, piano, more long chords, and then it has this cool thing. I couldn't really get it fully. It was like, because it's really hard to kind of hear, but so what I'm hearing here is a big fat thing arpeggiated here of just the sharp 11 and the 1, and then we just play the normal chord. Oops, C, that's a naughty. Right, there we go. And then we just play the easy, fun, done. Guitars, they have this rhythmic pattern sometimes and sometimes not. They're just playing power chords really. I think the electric guitar follows the bass on that cool bass part because I can't hear what it's doing. And then just more of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I got to talk about dynamics after, but anyway, the strings, same idea as before, same cool major 6. If you're doing ear training, this might be a good way to remember the major 6. And also remember how it resolves down, so, you know, sounds good. Same as before, but then we switch it up. We switch it up, variation, switch it up to do this. Oh, this is so cool. It's just like this like little tiny swervy like, but then it's recontextualized on the F major chord. So you do F minor where it's flat 3, natural 3. So it's like consonant, dissonant, but then on the F it's the sharp 9 to the 3. So it's dissonant, consonant, consonant, dissonant. Like it's recontextualized with the different chord. And then a variation over that. It's a variation on into, which is really cool. It's just like a E, and then we walk up stepwise to our, that should be D flat. To our flat 7 over the E flat 7 chord. Thing. Oh, 5, 9, 1, then the major 7, and then, oh, that's a cool sound, like a major 7 to, yeah, so the major 7 to minor, that's interesting. And then this roughly is like, and then we end on our flat 3 over the D chord. Vocal melody, same thing as before, that whole. But then we vary it. Oh wait, actually that looks like a variation. Yeah, before we were doing, but now it's higher because it's more exciting at the ending, we need more tension, so we sing higher. And then we do this cool movement with the strings and with the strings actually. Same thing as the strings. Again, hit the flat 7, and then we have this triplet figure, not dotted eighth notes, it's the triplet figure. All right, I didn't do backing voices. I didn't think. All right, it's only really doubles, I think. Weirdly enough, the vocal in the mix is very, very clear. I think it has something to do with the singer's voice. Like it's very, very high and piercing. Like it really pierces. And then we have this amazing little like in thirds in backing vocals after the, which is cool. And then we go major, and then we go minor, and then we cap it off with it, and that sounds like this. Lovely. Let's just play that whole thing and then talk about dynamics. Lovely. Okay, let's talk about dynamics. All right, throughout dynamics are very important, which is very, very interesting, because today in modern music, dynamics are literally lame and no one likes them. Especially in openings and endings, like dynamics they're like a complete second thought. It's like either this is soft or either this is really loud. Something like oh my god, checking the waveform when I imported the guitar loneliness and Blue Planet, because I'm doing that one soon, the full song. But it's like a sausage, and this one is very much not a sausage. But anyway, so we started a kind of soft dynamic, like it's very sweet, sentimental. And then we do like a bit louder, and then kind of soft for the verse. But then we have a crescendo, which is something I never imagined myself saying for a anime ending. We got a crescendo for this. And then again, it's like a moderate kind of dynamic, but then it grows into loud, and then it's really loud for the halftime section. Like if you listen. Like it gets very loud. And then we have this crescendo in the drums. Like it's very inconsistent dynamically, like in an intentional way. And then we just kind of chill out for this, and then we go back to being loud for the chorus, where it's like the whole. Oh, also another thing to mention is that no bass here, because when you take the bass out and put it back, taking the bass out puts in a lot of tension, and then bringing it back releases a lot of tension, which is why it's in the little break part. And then here, like even the strings dynamically like have a little bit of they've got a something to them. Everything has a something to them, and the guitars are just like pushed way back in the mix, because it's like they can't really do dynamics, so it's like let's just shove them in the background. No one will care. Also, yeah, like acoustic guitar, like that's not something you find in music that isn't very dynamic, because it's an acoustic instrument, and acoustic instruments get absolutely thrashed by anything electronic. Oh yeah, and the wind chimes, but like, oh true, I forgot to mention that the wind chimes oh no, that's the wrong song. The wind chimes happen once in this one. It's 5 5 equal feelings that I'm thinking of, where there's actually multiple wind chime bits. I don't even know how to notate wind chimes, if I'm honest. It's like, I was like, I don't know. They sound terrible no matter what you do in Sibelius. So I settled on crescendo and decrescendo with just like Z's. Is that, I don't know how, I don't know how you notate them. And tubular bells for like one extra bar after the intro was just like wild. A lot of glissers, dynamics, articulation. Yeah, like, and playing with articulation too, because we're playing with dynamics. An interesting thing to note is that like dynamics don't. It's probably better. The way I feel it is that it's better to think of dynamics in terms of timbre rather than actual volume, because like in terms of like making a mix and producing the music, it's like gonna end up loud anyway. But like something played quietly but boosted to loud has a completely different sound to it and timbre to something that was loud in the first place, or something that was loud and turned down, you know? It's like strings played hard is different fundamentally in sound to strings played softly, you know, which is a thing to think about. Anyway, that was Sentimental Crisis. This thing was a bloody nightmare to do because it is very complicated, needlessly, I might add. I probably don't plan to do the openings for Love Is War because they're like, I don't vibe with them as much, and I've got other things that I'm working on. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, it was a neat song. Neat song. A lot of chords, a lot of 4-5-1s, a lot of 4-4 minors, inverted chords, which is also pretty non-standard. Yeah, quite a few modulations. Like it had we start in A, and then we go a sixth away. Oh, it's only between A and C, so it's kind of chill. But yeah, wild drums, wild string writing. It's quite a phenomenal song, I must say, with an absolutely terrible mix. But anyway, that's all.